Okay, take my greetings. Assalamu alaikum, adab, everyone. So basically, we are going to study parts of speech, and there are actually eight type of parts of speech. But before we actually delve into that, let us just understand what is parts of speech. So basically, parts of speech are some parts of a sentence. When we actually make some sentences, when we write, when we speak, we need some parts of it. And if we dissect those parts, like this is a sentence, and in this sentence, if we dissect medicine, some, me, gave, doctor, these are some parts which helped us, which usually help us to construct a coherent, appropriate, and accurate sentence. So in this today's class, we will try to find out how should we recognize some parts of a sentence. So in our primary education, we have learned, we actually learned that there are eight type of parts of speech. The types are eight called noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, preposition, conjunction, and interjection. But nowadays, people acknowledge article as a part of article as a part of a sentence. Because why not? We use article a and the in our sentences. It also help us to make a different meaning. A ball, the ball. So these two phrase has a different meaning. So it is actually playing a key role here. So why not we should recognize article as a part of sentence? So let's talk about the noun at first. Noun means especially a place, a name of a place, person, thing, or idea. It can be a name of anything. For example, doctor. We call someone who treats us when we feel sick. That person is called a doctor. Someone who teaches us, we call that person a teacher. So we acknowledge people in those names: a teacher, a woman, John, doctor, park, school, kitchen, Dhaka, book, apple. So we recognize those things in that name: freedom, happiness, love, courage. There are actually four types of noun. There are modifications of noun. There are some ways to recognize noun. For example, proper noun. Proper noun means if I ask some student by their name, Sakib, Priyal, Korim, Rohim, these are proper noun. So instead of those noun, if we call that boy, boy is a common noun because I'm not specifying any noun, any name. After that, there's a abstract noun. Abstract noun, something that it's not touchable, something we cannot just touch it, and we only can feel it. So it's called an abstract noun. And also sometimes there's a material noun: gold, iron, so some other things as well, wood. So these are called actually material noun. So we will study the types of noun, the classification of noun in the upcoming classes. Let's just understand it from the surface level. The doctor gave us some medicine. We visited a museum. Happiness is the key to a good life. I want to make a cup of tea. Here, the bold words or phrases are not only not this one. The entire sentence has been bolded, sorry. So the doctor here, this phrase is a noun. And most of the time, people think that the placement of a noun only at the beginning of a sentence. we can only see noun at the beginning of a sentence. Sometimes we think it is actually not the correct answer. We think that maybe it works as a subject of a sentence. Not everywhere. You can see here. We visited a museum on Saturday. So, museum is a noun. It is actually working here as an object. We visited a museum. So, happiness here is an abstract noun that cannot be touchable. So, something that we cannot touch, we can call it like palpable. Okay. So, palpable means touchable. So, intangible, probably intangible is a word. Yes, you can use this word intangible, unable to be touched, not having physical presence. So, happiness, freedom, love, or hatred, courage, these are, yes, abstract noun. So, here I want to make a cup of tea. Cup is actually a container that holds water or tea, coffee. So it is called a noun, and we call that container and know it as a cup. So tea is a drink, name of a drink. Pronoun. After that pronoun, just in place of a noun, we use pronoun. For example, I, you, he, she, they, it, him. And sometimes we call someone a, oi, she, to me. So in that places, we can call she, they, my. This is our class. This is my book. There are actually some like classification of pronoun as well in the later of the classes. In the upcoming classes, we will discuss them as well. After that comes verb. Verb is an essential part of a sentence. Remember it. So there are two types of verb. One is action verb. Another is actually like state of being. We call it be verb. We call it sometimes modal verb. We call it like helping verb as well sometimes. He runs every morning. Run here is an action verb. So when we do things physically, when we actually doing things by our own and taking some action, it will be called as an action verb. He runs every morning. I wake up every morning. I drink tea. I eat rice. I'm watching TV. I am watching TV. He is watching TV. Here is actually uh, an auxiliary verb. Like sometimes we call it helping verb. To help make a sentence to express others that something is actually an ongoing work, actually is happening at a current situation. So he is watching TV. He can pass the exam. Can here is a modal verb. Pass is an action verb, and in fact, it's a main verb. Watching here is a main verb. Ate is a main verb. Pass is a main verb. Can is a modal verb, not the main verb. See, adjective. Adjective is something that modifies a noun or pronoun. It talks about a noun. He is a beautiful. Sakib is a beautiful boy. Sakib is a talented boy. So, talented, beautiful. Who am I claiming to these things? Of course, to a person, to Sakib. So, it is actually modifying him. It is describing about his characteristics. So, usually, something that modifies a noun or pronoun is called an adjective. She wore a red dress. It is talking about the dress and how the dress is. The dress is red. The old man walked slowly. How the man is old. It is describing a man, and the man is old. I see three birds. So, see, number can also be an adjective depending on the context. I saw three birds. How many birds? I saw three birds. So I'm specifying those birds. So I'm putting them into a number. So three words. So I'm describing them. So some people actually claim that if we get the answer of how, sometimes like let me see one thing. What adjective? What kind? How many? Which one? If a sentence or a word is answering this question, you can recognize that word as an adjective. What kind? How many? Which one? What kind of dress it is? It's a red dress. What kind of the person is? It's an old man. So usually, see, red itself alone a noun. Dress itself and alone is also a noun. But when a two noun sits side by side, sitting next to each other side by side, the very first one will be called an adjective. Here, old and man, both are noun. Since both are noun, the first one will be an adjective. So here, birds, three. Three is actually sometimes called like name of a number. So we can call it also a noun. So when two nouns sit side by side, the first one will be called as an adjective. Let's talk about the adverb as well. So adverb actually modifies three other three different, not different, two different parts of speech. Adverb modifies an adverb itself, sometimes adjective, sometimes verb. So we only know that adverb only helps and modifies an another verb. It's not always like that. Sometimes it also helps an adjective to modify. Sometimes it also helps another adverb to describe. For example, he runs quickly. How he runs? Runs. It actually modifying the verb of this sentence. He runs quickly. How he runs? He runs quickly. Sometimes we can say he looks, he works efficient efficiently. Sorry. How is he working? He is working efficiently. He works efficiently. So here, the degree of his work, like it actually gives us the answer of how he is working and to what extent he is working. So when a word that gives us the answer of how, we can see it from here as well. How, when, where, to what extent. So these are the words that helps us to identify an adverb. So when a word answer the question of this, you can recognize that word as an adverb. But more than that, just try to notice if that word actually is modifying another verb, adjective, or an adverb. If that word actually is modifying these three, not in like together, of course, not at the same time, if actually it fulfills the one condition, whether it's actually modifying a verb or an adjective or an adverb, anyone, any one of them are if modified, then you can say it an adverb. She is very smart. Smart is actually like uh, a characteristic of a man, a quality of a man or a woman as well. So smart is an adjective, and how smart? Very smart. So it is modifying, very word is modifying an adjective. Here, he will come soon. When he will when he will come soon. So come soon. So it is explaining how fast he will come. So it is explaining a verb. How fast he will come soon. How he is working efficiently. How he is running quickly. How smart he is very smart. So when an adjective or an adverb or a verb is being modified by another word alone, you can call it as an adverb. So preposition is something that helps us to get the direction, location, time to actually let other understand the specific direction or specific time. I wake up at 9 p.m. He wakes up at 7 p.m. 7 a.m. Sorry. So it is helping us to describe a time. I'm walking through the forest. I'm walking through the gate. So it helps us to explain the direction. So in, on, at, by, under, over, through, beside, inside, from, for, these are called preposition. Conjunction helps us to connect words, phrases, or clauses. For example, and, but, because, although, if, because he is ill, he couldn't attend the class. We stayed inside because it was raining. He kept tired. He was tired, but he kept working. So it is actually adjoining a two different clauses. I want pizza and pasta. Here, pizza and pasta, it is working as a phrase. So it can add two phrases, it can add multiple clauses. So it helps work as an as a connector. Interjection, we sometimes express our feelings instantly. Yay, ouch, whoa. So these expressions are called interjection. So when we express strong emotion or sudden feeling, it's often followed by by an exclamation mark. So see, after whoa, there is an exclamation mark. Hey, watch out. So when we see hooray, oh, oh shit, ouch, whoa. So these are called interjection. So also, besides this, we can call article a and the as an as a part of a speech. So there is in total 9 type of parts of speech: noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, adjective, um, preposition, conjunction, interjection, and article. So this is your homework. So the word that you can see as a bold mark, in a bold mark, yesterday Sarah, her brother Park played, ran, grassy, suddenly, started, rained, quickly, hit it, whoa, exciting. These bold words, it's your task to recognize their name, their parts in a sentence. How is it is actually working depending on the context. So this is the context and how they are functioning. You have to acknowledge them, recognize them, and write them side by side. For example, yesterday, if it's in your eye, if it's noun, then say noun. Although it's not noun, I'm giving you a hint. So I'm giving you a hint that it's not noun. So just like that, write it down in your paper, in your notebook, and then give me the screenshot or the picture of it. So thank you so much. I hope I will see you in the next class. Till then, stay safe. Goodbye.